Hello and welcome to the Collegiate Sporting Complex in the heart of Wollongong for this round 3 Andrew Johns Cup clash between the Illawarra South Coast Dragons and the Western Rams. An important game for both sides. The Western Rams came into round 3 leading the competition, but with Penrith's win over the West Tigers yesterday, they need a win today to go back top of the Southern Pool. A completely different reason why the Dragons need to win today. They're sitting on just the solitary point from a round 1 draw, and a loss today they can ill afford if they are to make it through to the next stage. Going through the sides this afternoon for the Dragons first. At the back, it's James McClelland. On the wings, it's Nathan Messonniers and Richard Hall. In the centres, Joe Nelson and Jarvis Austin. The halves are Jack Bostock, Max Riolo, Jonah Longbottom, Billy Cook, the captain, Quinton Tafua in the front row, Ryan Couchman, Tom Burney and Kyron Ebbs-Windish. The back row. On the bench, Keith Gatt, Salvatore Gattuso, Jack McKechnie, Reece Penno, Caleb Stewart, Bailey Heyman, Sam Fitzpatrick, and they are coached by Cameron Thurgate. For the Western Rams at the back, Bray Porter on the wings, Wilson and Hamilton, Josh Belfonte and Zach Williams the centres. The halves are Cole Malwini and Cooper Egan. Jack Gersbach and Bill Statham are the front row forwards. Fletcher Haycock, the hooker. In the back row, Aston Warwick, Matthew Noakes, Finley Nielsen is the lock and captain. And on the bench, it's Riley Wake, Jesse Shorter, John Mackay, Sam Raumati, and Caden Dixon, the coach, Tony Woolnough. The sides on the fields, getting ready for this one, an early kick-off. Beautiful day here at Fig Tree. Of course, the suburb of Wollongong, it's 24 degrees going for a top of 26. The Rams will kick off to the northern end. The Dragons with a first use of the football, looking to turn around their form after a 40-4 thumping last week. Underway in this round 3 clash, plenty at stake here as Tafua comes back, the wind-up, and he's met by 3 defenders and they drive him back. Scoot out a dummy half for Nelson, an early hit up for him. And again, driven back by this solid Rams defence. It's been a hallmark of the first 2 rounds, it has to be said, as Longbottom gets a hit up in the middle of the park. They're struggling to get out of their own red zone here, the Dragons, in this very first set of the game, as they spread it out to the left. And in the 22 there, that's Starling starting the game for the Dragons. And an early penalty, that's a much relieving penalty for the home side. Had a bit of rain here on Friday night, but a beautiful Saturday means it's a dry track. We're expecting plenty of tries in this one. So with the piggyback, they'll start. They're set on halfway, the home side. And again, this driving defence, Noakes leading the charge for the Rams. Now to Riolo. Riolo goes short, and Ebbs-Windish did well to take that ball that was behind him. And he returns it with interest, but it spills out the back. It's play on is the call, and a bit of second phase play for McClelland. 28 metres out from the Rams line. Longbottom lumbering to the line again, an offload, and it's the captain, Billy Cook, who's there to gratefully accept. He's brought down on the 20. Riolo out there to Bostock, and they spread it wide. It goes now to out there Nelson. Nelson cuts back on the inside, and he's brought down 15 metres out. A real chance here for the home side. Ryan Couchman, impressive in that first up draw against the Monero Colts was Ryan Couchman. Now it goes back through the hands to Riolo. He can't handle it. The pressure was good from the Rams on the last, and they get out of jail. They'll get the scrum loose and feed 10 metres out from their own line. Positive start by the Dragons. It has to be said, good pressure by the Rams in attack. And we should mention that the referee today is James Land, the touch judges Matt Reeves and William Campbell. I was speaking to former NRL referee Tony Dallas Harris before the game, and there's a bit of a referee swap today. We've got some of the referees that have been adjudicating the Harold Matthews Cup here today, and the CRL referees got their chance in that competition yesterday. So good to see that the referees are getting a wealth of experience. As the Rams, for the first time today, they have the football and they're up to the 40. To improve on this impressive start in the competition as Egan shows the ball, and nice work there in the 12 by Noakes, and they've worked it on the outside, and it's this try-scoring whiz there, and oh, what a try it is. What a start by the Rams. Brandon Hamilton, he scored a hat-trick last week. He's got an early one this morning. Sleight of hand from Cooper Egan, the halfback, and it was nice work out there by Noakes and company, and a nice fend from Brandon Hamilton. And the lanky frame was too hard to handle. 4 points to nil to the Rams. The good start undone by the Dragons. Brandon Hamilton, a hat-trick last week in the 26-16 win over Riverina. He also scored in round one in the 14-12 win over Penrith. He can sniff out a try, and there were no better finishes than that one there. The conversion successful. Matthew Noakes piloting that one over. It is 6 points to nil in favour of the visitors here at Wollongong. Tony Woolnough will be very happy with his side's start in respect to the intensity in defence and first touch of the football, and 4 points turned into 6. Of course, the major sponsor of the Andrew Johns Cup is SLE Worldwide. We thank them. And partner sponsor Anytime Fitness as well. And of course, to the broadcaster in Bar TV. I hope you're enjoying the coverage wherever you may be watching across Australia and across the world. Having a bit of problems in the middle. That little rough patch. Back underway. It's a deep kickoff, and it was completely misread by the Rams, and it'll be a goal line dropout. Struck it sweetly. Plenty of depth on it. And a chance to hit straight back. This holds up for Tafua. He loves to wind up. A long bottom looking to go on a crossfield run. He brought down 21 metres out. Short side with Riolo. Riolo, second phase play. Oh, it was read beautifully. McClellan's hammered. And a dummy half. Jarvis Austin found the try line in round one. Riolo, long bottom. Crawling his way towards the try line. He's 8 metres short. They're set deep to the right. Riolo, Bostock. Bostock putting the kick through and looking for the chasers. Couchman was coming through, but it was well read by the custodian from the Rams, Bray Border. Now Wilson. Already seen his wing partner in Brandon Hamilton cross the stripe early in this one. We've had 8 minutes at collegians as now the Dragons turn to muscle up. And lost in the play the ball, but it's a penalty according to James Leanne. Hands all over the football. Dragons coach Cameron Thurgate will no doubt be disappointed after really dominating him in the first few tackles of that set, but they don't go for touch. They maybe feel that this breeze is quite strong as the Rams go out to that right edge where they've had success already in this game. Now goes back. The Cabon Jr. Short side again. They've had success. They're going to try again. And a penalty. They were all offside. Piggyback after piggyback. And now the Rams will have another crack. So they decide to head to the centre of the park for Statham, and Statham met by Tafua, and the two number 10s go at it. Hammer and Tong. Turning it on the edge side, there was his gap as wide as the Grand Canyon, and Warwick going towards the line has lost the football. But it was stripped out, but a try-saving effort nonetheless. The pressure not off. Wilson looking to scurry his way to the try line. Now offloaded back to that man. The hit and spin from Warwick, but he's lost it again. This time there was no help. Out to the 20 for the Dragons, who want to take it quickly. He looks very dangerous, does the South Dubbo Junior. They'll be buoyed, the Dragons, by the fact they were able to hold the Rams out, and they get a penalty as well. Definitely a breeze in favour of the Dragons in this first half. They find themselves on the wrong end of the scoreboard. It's Bernie. The dummy from Cook. Cook looking to snipe through with the Rams defence. They close him off. They needed to as well because he was through almost. McClellan, dummies. Then decides to pass the ball to Fua. He was flat-footed. He was easy pickings for the defence. Back to the open, Riolo. Riolo steps off the left and takes it into Nielsen, and Nielsen makes the tackle. They're 22 metres out. Bostock at first receiver, shows it, then goes short, and Couchman thought he was through, but it was forward. The execution not quite there at the moment for the home side. Six points to nil. The Western Rams lead. They look to go back to the top of the Southern Pool in the Andrew Johns Cup. Impressive first up win over Penrith, 14-12 in a thriller, and then 26-16 winners over Riverina last week, has them poised for another playoffs appearance. It is a real breeding ground, the west of New South Wales. Nice little offload there, back to Haycock. Haycock, he gets up again after Tafua was initially able to bring him to ground. Now they go the short side there with Marwini, and Marwini finds his centre in Belfonte, and Belfonte's brought down 35 metres out. The Rams rolling forward, and Warwick there, he looked to Gersbach, he said, I'm going to go myself. 25 metres out. Now back to the boot of Marwini. Marwini goes high, hoping it'll hold up in the breeze. It's a tough one there, and well taken at the end by Austin. There was a bit of confusion between him and McClellan, and took the catch nicely. And now a little short side snipe, and oh, they've lost the ball. It's stripped, and it's a saloon passage for Noakes, and Noakes gets the Rams' second try. A howler on the left edge by the Dragons, and the Rams go further ahead. Noakes put Hamilton away for the first try of the match, and a bit of pickpocketing gets him the second try. Halfway through the first half, and the Rams asserting their authority, albeit that one against the run of play. Sure, the Dragons, with the breeze at their backs in this first half, would have eyed off an early lead. It hasn't panned out that way, which has made life even tougher. So Noakes trying to convert his own try. He's 1 from 1 this afternoon. Mind you, his first attempt was from smack bang in front. This one on the eastern touchline. 2 metres in, 25 metres out. It'll take an almighty strike. He gives it a good hoof. It's on its way. It's on its way. It's over. What a kick from Noakes. He's having some sort of start to this game. It's 12 points to 0 to the Western Rams. Let's see if the Rams can do a better job from the kickoff. They let the first one bounce and conceded a goal line dropout. Now this one, it's flatter. The Rams will start their set on the 20. Solid contact in the middle. Nielsen, the captain. Notice Salvatore Gattuso on the park for the Dragons. He'll provide some much needed aggression. With a penalty on this occasion, and the Rams go further up the field. This time they opt to go to touch. A little reluctant with the breeze in their faces to kick for touch at times. So the centre of the park, they're 42 away. They're finding some inroads up the middle. Again, it's Noakes doing a mountain of work, the back rower, as they go to the left and out there for Egan. Egan goes further afield to Marwini, but Marwini couldn't handle it, and the play breaks down. The Dragons will get the scrum. It's not quite in sync, the two halves there, Marwini and Egan. Been very impressive in the first 2 rounds. Riolo out to Nelson. Now it's Austin. 1-on-1 with Nielsen, and the cavalry arrives and they bring down Austin 15 short of halfway. Slipping up in that tackle was Nielsen, and the penalty awarded. You could hear over the ref's mic James Land on top of that one very early. A needless penalty for the Rams. They were handling the Dragons quite comfortably. But an extra 20 metres and a fresh set of 6 for the Dragons, who trail 12-0. Starling almost went through Haycock. Riolo. Gattuso. Gersbach was there to meet him at the advantage line. 23 metres out. Bostock looks to go inside, goes outside. He's absolutely hammered after he gives the ball now to his fullback of McClellan, and a late hit is the call, and he's down on the deck as well. That certainly hurt him. Little surprised there wasn't a talking to by referee James Leanne. Spot of bother. It was a nice bit of play. He really took the ball to the line. Self-preservation out the window. Suffice to say, they can ill afford him to be injured. Bit of concern for him. Let's hope he just got a little winded. .11 minutes, 11 seconds left in the first half of this round 3 Andrew Johns Cup clash. It's the Rams from Western New South Wales 12, Illawarra South Coast Dragons 0. It's been an up-tempo start to the game, but this has really sort of taken the wind out of the sails of both sides. But no doubt they'll enjoy the breather. It's already up to nudging 25 degrees here, going for a top of 26 this afternoon. So it looks like he's going to come from the field. Clutching at the ribs. It was a real rib tickler, that's for sure. But out of this, the Dragons will get the penalty for the late hit, as we see the skipper, Billy Cook, come on the park in the 9 jersey. So play continues. Long bottom. The Dragons looking for their first try of the morning. Gattuso. 8 metres out. Riolo. And he dummies. Riolo looking to catch them napping, and Noakes was having none of it. Long ball. Cook. McClellan. McClellan for the line. A metre short. Last tackle for the Dragons. Back to Cook. Cook looking to put the kick in. He's got it through as well, but it does it. Sit up, does it? It does. Bray Porter plays at it. Goal line dropout. Repeat set for the Dragons. So the restart, holding up in the breeze. McClellan midfield and gives it to Longbottom, and Longbottom winds up. He charges at the Rams' defence, which has been solid to start this game. 21 metres out, they'll start their set and they'll look for their first points. Gattuso almost poking through the tackle there, but holding on down low was Gersbach. Out to Cook at first receiver. It looks like he's gone to the halves. He throws the dummy, and he's opposite as got him all ends up on that occasion. That was Haycock. Now Webbs Windish in the 13 jersey. Can the Dragons crack the line? Riolo. Wide pass to McClellan. Gets out of one tackle. Austin can't handle it. The ball, it's gone forward. A chance really has gone begging. McClellan had beaten his opponent. The pass just behind Austin. Couldn't reel it in. So Belfonte will play it, centre of the park, and the Rams very miserly when it comes to conceding points. They've defended their line to great aplomb this morning. And now they get a penalty to help them out of their own end. Discipline a problem for the Dragons. No doubt that'll be the theme from Cameron Thurgate at half-time. Stop the penalties. And Nielsen attracting 3 defenders. They finally bring him to ground. Long bottom in there with some help from Gattuso. The dummy from the rake and Haycock. Playing flat at the line, Nielsen. Rolling up the field, the Rams. They head to the right. Egan, and he's found his fullback, and Porter, who pins the ears back and goes over for the try. The third of the morning for the Rams. They had numbers galore. They just needed to go through the hands, and Porter clapped on the pace, and they couldn't stop it. Six and a half minutes left in the first half. All one-way traffic. The visitors having the better of this one. 16-0 kick to come. Matthew Noakes, again with a tough assignment. He's already nailed one from that eastern touchline. He's 5 metres in. This time he's only about 21 metres out, so he's brought the ball forward. This one again, it struck pretty well. Has it got the direction? Oh, you bet it has. You bet it has. 18-0. And the slow walk back to halfway, which is now resembling a bit of a jog, is all too familiar for this Dragon side. The Rams with this match, if they win, if they hang on, will go back to the top of the Southern Pool. As I mentioned at the start of the broadcast, Penrith currently occupy that position after defeating the West Tigers in the only Saturday game for round 3, 32-12. The Panthers over the Tigers. The Rams hoping to add to their for and against, which is inferior at the moment to the Panthers. So should it be decided by for and against, this game could be crucial. Nielsen now. Good metres on this set for the Rams. 35 away, Egan. Going to the line, straight through! Zach Williams gets away from the fullback, still struggling towards the line. The Dragons, they hold him up only just. Still very much danger time for the Dragons as Egan sweeps to the open side. Winnie, he goes out to his back rower, and Warwick can still play on as Wilson goes in to touch. The Dragons scramble. They only just hang on with 3.5 minutes left in the first half. A try there, you'd have to think it was good night. I know we've got still a half of football and some to play. Can that shift the momentum? Good cover defence by the Dragons. Oh! A bell ringer. And it was Williams. Look at this defence. Noakes leading the charge on that occasion. Under siege the home side. Noakes again. Ariolo. He put Starling under a bit of pressure, but Starling did well. And he won't go down. Oh, another solid shot over the top. So that's the fifth. They've only made 30 metres as it now goes to the boot of Cook. That's a nice kick, aided by the breeze, and a nice bounce for Porter. And Porter, he goes on his outside to his winger and Hamilton. This time, he's taken in a touch. A great ball and all shot. Can that spur the home side with 2 minutes left in the half? They'll get one last crack at the Rams. They trail 18-0. They would have fancied themselves going out to Brandon Hamilton after he scored a solo special the first try of the game. But they were waiting for him this time. Now McClelland, dummies. And one of the better players for the Dragons in this first half, the custodian. Now Couchman looking, searching, probing for a gap, but it's not there. There have been few and far between the gaps in this Rams defence. This solid green wall. Now long bottom, big half by the solid front rower. Now Cook. He's got options on his inside, goes outside. Oh, McClelland, he finds Austin, and Austin scores. Nelson, in fact, it was Nelson on the outside, and they strike right on half-time. They're back in at the Dragons, 18-4. McClelland, the provider. It looks like Joe Nelson was the man in the 3 jersey for the Dragons. Crucial strike on the stroke of half-time. The siren about to sound. Reece Penno with an important conversion. The replacement player from the Corrimal Cougars. He's 8 metres in from the western touchline, 25 metres out. Breeze at his back, so he'll have no trouble going the distance. And he's scuffed it out to the right, no goal. But importantly, points on the board for the Dragons as we enter half-time of this round 3 Andrew Johns Cup clash. But it is the Western Rams in control at the moment. They lead this one 18 points to 4. We'll be back shortly with the second half. Welcome back to Collegiate Sporting Complex in Wollongong. Half-time in this round 3 Andrew Johns Cup clash. Western Rams leading the Illawarra South Coast Dragons 18 points to 4. The Rams very much the dominant side, as the scoreboard would show in that first half. But positively, the Dragons scoring right on the stroke of half-time. It was Joe Nelson, the centre, who crossed off the nice lead-up work from fullback James McClelland. As for the Western Rams, well, they've been super impressive. Brandon Hamilton opened the scoring. Matthew Noakes went over for the second try. And Bray Porter, the fullback in the headgear, who's had a good start to this game, crossing for the third try as the Dragons head back out onto the field. They'll run to the northern end in the second half. They were aided by a breeze. They couldn't take advantage in the first stanza. And they have plenty of work to do in this second half. Discipline, I'm sure, would have been the buzzword around the Dragons' sheds by Cameron Thurgate, giving away plenty of penalties in that first half, which ultimately gave Rams the field position to give them the 14-point lead that they hold. But they've got 30 minutes to turn it around, the home side. Obviously shorter halves than what we see in the seniors, but it may not seem like a long time, but it's plenty of time in rugby league terms, 30 minutes. 14 points in the grand scheme of things is nothing, but they need to be first to score. Back underway. Can the Rams just turn the screws? Undefeated after 2 rounds. Nielsen, the captain, already in 2 tackles, approaching halfway. The meter eaters doing the job in this first set. Egan flattered the line and finds Noakes, who was the Rams' best in that first half. Probing in the middle of the park, also on the edges, as now they go to the edges, and a nice little ball there, and look at the strength from Williams. He's 10 metres out. Last tackle. Egan into first receiver, deciding to go through the hands, Marwitty. Then he rolls it into the in goals. The chase coming through, but it was good patience by the Dragons. It'll be back out to the 20 for their first set of the second half. No doubt, Rams coach Tony Woolnough would be super impressed with his side's first half and that first set of the second. Zach Williams on this right edge, showing all the strength in the world, almost getting all the way to the line, and now they look to muscle up in defence. Gattuso plays it. Alpeno, who missed that sideline conversion after the first half siren, which would have made it a 2-score game, but that means there's more work to do as far as the Dragons are concerned, as Longbottom makes a nice run. He had an impressive first half as Riolo puts it to the boot, and it just holds up, but he's found the gap between winger and fullback, and Hamilton's made a meal of it. He started the first half like a house on fire, but not so crash hot to start the second. Perfect kick by little Max Riolo. Now the Dragons with the scrum, loose and feed, 10 metres out. Looking to narrow this 14-point deficit. And almost against the feed. Get a second bite of the cherry. This time no dramas as Riolo feeds it. McClellan one out. He didn't have anyone really pressing up on the outside. A differential penalty there for offside. They won't be able to take the 2. Not that they would be thinking about it. 14 points down. Now Longbottom's played some minutes in this game. Still winding up, but they drive him back. And now they go to the short side. And Cook finds Couchman, and he's wrapped up. He gets the offload away, though. Second phase play, they'll need to against this Rams side. And a nice offload there from Longbottom to Gattuso, who pumps the legs towards the try line. They're 5 metres short. Crying out for it to the left. That's where they go with Riolo. Riolo, he looks on the outside, didn't like what he saw. He goes himself through the dummy, spotted a gap, but it closed quickly. Gat on the field at dummy half, gets it away to Penno. Now Gat again. Sweeping ball to Cook, who looks to go the early kick. It hits the uprights. Cook chasing through. Has he got there first? Looks to have gone dead. And it will be a goal line dropout. It was forced dead by the Rams. Grounded. The pressure, though, on the Rams is immense. Some confusion. The Rams thought it was knocked on by the Dragons. James Leanne, the referee, said it was grounded by the men in green. This one trickling down to Messinez, and Messinez, some rare action for the left winger for the Illawarra South Coast Dragons. Haven't really seen much from any of the back three, or should I say the wingers in this game. McClellan's been very prominent. They haven't really had the chance to go at either to Messinez's flank or to Hall either on the right edge. Will they get the chance here? The penalty will take them into the Rams' red zone. Starling. Trailing by 14, the Dragons looking to get back in it with Longbottom. Longbottom charging towards the line, and he took some stopping. Gat with a long ball out there to Cook. Cook dummies and gets an offload away to Penno. Penno finds Gattuso. Gattuso now, he's flat-footed. He looks to try and create something out of nothing. He doesn't quite have the same impact when he's not running onto the football. So short from Gat to Longbottom. This time, no. Denied by a wonderful tackle underneath the uprights. The fullback in Porter was in there. A try saver. Ariolo, McClelland. Again, they're flat. This might be 6 again here. Austin goes back. It will be 6 more. Losing ground. Messinez. He caught no one down the blind side. And they converge on him. But he's made good ground. They're only 8 metres out. Now McClelland out to Penno. Penno, he gets outside his opposite number and almost gets his way over to the try line. They're 2 metres out. Cook. McClelland. Nelson, he's got 1 try already. Nelson's got a double. Try time Dragons. They're back in the contest. The home side roaring to life. They were pressing and pressing and pressing, and finally the Rams cracked, and it was Joe Nelson who scored on the stroke of half-time. And now with 22 minutes and 45 seconds left in this contest, he makes it 18-8 kick to come. Keith Gatt was to take the conversion, but he's handed over the duties to James McClelland, the Dapto Canaries Jr. What an impact McClelland's had on this game. And I notice he's a lot more prominent to start this second half, getting into first receiver a lot. Helping out his halves, of course, No Jack Bostock, who succumbed to a rib injury after copping a late shot midway through the first half, which has seen a bit of a shift with Billy Cook going into the halves and Keith Gatt going to hooker. Two metres in from the eastern touchline, 25 metres out. McClellan moves in, but it's not going to have the legs, nor is it going to have the direction. "21 minutes and 20 seconds left in the half."
Yeah, I'll go with it. Yeah. Bounce side, guys.
Oh, and a howler off the kickoff from McClellan. We've been singing his praises all morning, and he comes up with a blunder. That's the last thing they needed after points. How much is goal kicking going to play a part? 3 tries to 2, but it's 10 points in it. The Dragons will be looking for a sound defensive set as that dropout was hit low and flat and found a bit of open pasture as Wilson. Raumati. Egan turns Noakes on the inside. Noakes getting it on his outside to Hamilton. Hamilton slicing through. Hamilton carrying defenders over the line. He's driven back. Already with 1 try this morning, looking for number 2. Egan, they've got numbers. They're going to shift Marwini. Marwini and steaming onto it. Just trying to have a look at who that was. It was Belfonte. I perhaps thought going wide was the option. Belfonte came flying through. Now Gattuso. Been super impressive. These gang tackles by the Rams is now Austin. Austin with a step. Oh, that was sweet. And now it goes to Messonez, and Messonez cuts back on the inside. They're 25 metres out from their own line as that early kick there and down a narrow blind side. And Porter was waiting for it, and Porter almost threw a staggered line, a staggered chase by the Dragons, but he's roped in. They start their set in very good field position for Shorter, the Red Ben Jr., to take it into the line. Now it's Raumati. 22 out. Rams leading by 10. And they get a penalty. Do they take the 2 and make it a 12-point ball game, or do they keep rolling forward? And it looks like they're going to go the latter. They sense a chance to break this game open. 10 metres out from the Dragons line, their centre of the park. Egan. He's been dangerous all day, and this time he hits Williams. Williams, this time he's brought down. Short. Might be a try. Let's have a look at James Leanne, the referee. He likes it. It's a try to the Rams. In the 15 jersey, Jesse Shorter scores 22 points to 8 now. And the boys from out west can breathe a little easier with 17 minutes left. The Rams subs doing the job. Some nice work by Raumati and Jesse Shorter. The latter scoring that try. And the conversion successful. But now it's 24 points to 8 in favour of the visitors in this round 3 Andrew Johns Cup clash. A win for the Western Rams will see them go back to the top of the Southern Pool with 3 wins from as many games. And for the Dragons, well, it means that qualifying for the playoff stage becomes near impossible. They only have the solitary draw from their opening 2 games, and that was against Monero in the opening round, which incidentally was a home game down at Shell Harbour. We're about 20 minutes north in beautiful Fig Tree at this premier collegiate sporting complex. Great place to watch football. Well, surely Bernie was not square at marker, and that's how it's adjudicated there by James Leanne. Yet another piggyback for the Rams. Riley Wake on the field now for the Rams in the 14 jersey. That's the man with the football, and he'll trundle up towards the halfway mark as the Rams look to put it beyond doubt with 15 minutes left. Short of the try scorer, who just burrowed over from close range to give his side some breathing space. Raumati, and this big lad attracts plenty of attention, and the defenders were a little eager to go up and meet him. Now the quick tap, Raumati wants more action, and Raumati will get it. He loses the football though, and it's pats all round on the back of Will Starling by the looks of it, who just got underneath the football. They'll be bitterly disappointed, the Rams. That could have been the final nail in the coffin, but it just leaves the door ajar. 14 minutes, 32 seconds left. This round 3 clash. Home side definitely a better performance in this second half. They still trail on the scoreboard, and in fact it's gone from a 14-point margin at halftime to 16 points. A try apiece. And a lost football will see the Rams come up with the scrum feed. Their own worst enemy at times, the home side. A big thanks to our major sponsor, SLE Worldwide. Wonderful supporters of both the Laurie Daley Cup and the Andrew Johns Cup. And stay with us after this game. We do have the Laurie Daley Cup coming up. It should be an absolute belter between the first and second place sides in the Southern Pool. Still 13 minutes left in this one. It's not quite beyond doubt yet, but Shorter was looking to poke his head through and perhaps put it beyond doubt on that occasion. He's 12 metres short as they go to the short side, and now it's Marwini. Marwini finding his fullback and Porter's driven back. They were reading it this time, the Dragons' defence. Shorter on his outside. He picks up Mackay, and Mackay's tackled 15 metres out, 5 metres out rather. Short now, and just short is Haycock. They're set to the right. They instead go the short side, looking to catch them napping there, and Mackay's wrapped up. Perhaps wasn't expecting it. Fifth and last, the Rams. Can they put it beyond doubt? Egan goes wide. Nielsen short now, and it's Hamilton. Hamilton going for the line. He's just short. The defence holds. But they've got 99 metres to go, the Dragons, and they trail by that 16-point margin. Oh! And a big tackle, but a little too eager. Starling met with solid contact. Some good hits in this game. The defence has been good. And by the same token, the attack has also been superb at times. Oh, and again, Starling, a sucker for punishment. Now Keith Gatt. He provided some magic in their first round game, but he comes up with rocks on that occasion. No diamonds there. The Rams with it. Hamilton from dummy half. Numbers to the left. They're lined up wide. They go short. The ball's forward. The call came from the touch judge on the eastern side of the field. Some of the intensity perhaps dropping just a fraction, maybe not so in the hits, but I think some of the players are making some tight errors. So they broke early. I wouldn't be surprised to see a penalty here. No, that's A-OK as far as the referee is concerned. I thought the Rams broke early from the scrum, but nevertheless, the Dragons have still got it. What a tackle coming in from Warwick. The Rams, hungry. We've had 50 minutes of play and they're still tackling like it's the first minute. The Dragons going nowhere, still in their own red zone. Now Penner. He's forced to put it on the boot. It's high. No one's under it. It's going to be the bounce, and it bounces kindly enough for Porter. And they'll start their set 42 away from the Dragons line. This might be the set. Warwick upended. Couchman was in there. Goes back on the field for the Rams. Egan going inside, or shaping to anyway. He goes outside to Hamilton. Hamilton's tackled 11 metres out. Looking to put this game beyond any doubt. Egan out there to his replacement in Mackay. Mackay, and he's stripped of the ball. But it's going to be a penalty. There were two in that tackle. I think, if anything, Penno was maybe trying to bide his team a little bit of time, because they look absolutely on the rack. They get to reset here, but a full set of 6 for the Rams, and they look to go spin it wide, and now it's with Nielsen. Nielsen throws the dummy. He runs over the top there of the little replacement hooker in Keith Gatt, but Keith Gatt holds on. They go short side. Quick hands. Wilson, he goes into touch though. The flag is up on the far side. Thought he was in for his first try of the afternoon. Not to be. 8.5 minutes left though. The Dragons will need something just shy of a miracle to get themselves out of this one. But they will certainly be a lot more pleased with this performance as opposed to the 40-4 loss they copped at the foot of the Blue Mountains last week. Look at this defence. But the offload's away, so they look to spin it out there. Austin's thinking about going to Messinez, but goes himself, and again they drive him back. How many times have we seen that this morning? Long bottom. Running very upright. The Dragons, perhaps they've been a little too guilty of that and tripping over the marker there. Not making many metres. Tafu trying to fix that. He gets the offload away. It's a nice one as well. But the defence again up there to wrap up the support play. That's the 5th and last. They've only made 25 metres on this set. They're against the wind. They need a big kick, and Riolo, he can't provide it. And it's down there for Hamilton. And in fact, it was Wilson on the left wing. Now Belfonte. 7 minutes left here at Collegians in Wollongong. Porter, hoping he can grab a brace. Earns his side a penalty in the interim. The pint-sized fullback has been very dangerous. In fact, both fullbacks have been very good in this game. While they go, Nielsen finding his back row partner in Warwick. Warwick's goes out to Belfonte. Now the hooker and Haycock. Haycock hoping to try and find a chink in the armour. The Rams building to something, but the play died. Miscommunication. Still tackles up the sleeve, and they go short to Gersbach, and Gersbach, he storms over the line. The Rams will win this one this morning. 28 points to 8, kick to come. And the big front rower, Jackson Gersbach, the Cabon Jr., gets his side the 5th try of the morning. A sorry finish to the game for the Dragons after they started the half with so much promise. Another one piloted over the posts. 5 tries, 5 goals this morning for the Rams, with 4 minutes 55 left on the clock. It's a mere formality for the Rams. Another restart as the wind starts to really howl here at Victory. Warm morning. We've seen some great football from these under 16 players. The Western Rams will go back to the top of the Southern Pool. This one's not going to go out. The Dragons can carry it back. Oh, and boy, oh boy. Gat was absolutely hammered. They've just struggled for that go forward, the Dragons. At every turn, the Rams have been there. Riolo out there to Austin. Austin now to Messinez. Messinez gets an offload back to Austin. Austin, he's looked dangerous the few times he's had a chance out there on the left edge in the centres for the Dragons. He played the ball just shy of halfway. They've certainly looked more dangerous when they've promoted the football. That's the 5th and last. Back to Riolo. Riolo, he drills it towards the middle of the park, and now it's for Wilson. Wilson is met there. It's stolen by Penno. Penno sprinting for the corner. The cover comes across. He's 5 metres short. The first try of the game was a carbon copy. They almost scored another one exactly like that as Nelson goes for his hat-trick. Nelson. No, he loses the football. Strong boy, Joe Nelson. Sure, they would have loved to give him more ball today as the Rams cough it up. But the referee calling a halt to the play. The Dragons with the scrum feed. 2 minutes left. The home side looking for a consolation try. Much improved effort in this second half. Something for Cameron Thurgate to be pleased with going into next week's round of matches. So Riolo, he finds his lock forward in Ebbs Windish. And down the short side, Austin throwing the dummy. Austin, from that standing start, he's dangerous. He's got a lethal step. Ball back to Couchman. Couchman finding Ebbs Windish again. A metre out. Can the Dragons finish on a high? Gat going short there to a flat-footed long bottom. It was in fact Penno. When he's lost the ball, Gat. That sums up the Dragons' morning. 1 minute left. 30 points to 8 in favour of the Western Rams. So to be the Rams with the last say of this one. It's been a sound performance without being super impressive. They've done enough today. Last play of the game. And that will do us here at Fig Tree. In fact, we have got time for one last play. Scooped up by the Dragons. They're quite happy to submit to the tackle. And they've submitted to a heavy loss this morning. The Western Rams dominant from go to woe. 30 points to 8. They've defeated the home side, the Illawarra South Coast Dragons. So the Rams, they go to the top of the Southern Pool, leapfrogging the Penrith Panthers. The Dragons still winless. You'd have to think that is their finals hopes done and dusted for 2019. Having a look at next week's fixtures. The Dragons are on the road. They're at Campbelltown against the West Tigers. While for the Rams, they're at home against Monero. Stay with us. We've got plenty more coming up. We've got the Laurie Daley Cup coming up very shortly. That will get underway in about 5 or so minutes. So I look forward to having you company very shortly. Hope you're enjoying Bar TV's coverage of the Andrew Johns and Laurie Daley Cups. We've just seen the Andrew Johns Cup, a 30-8 win for the Western Rams over the Illawarra South Coast Dragons. And what a mouth-watering battle we have here between the teams that went into round 3, the ranked 1 and 2 sides. The Western Rams, 2 from 2 in their opening few games, and as for the Illawarra South Coast Dragons, they've had a win and a draw. Let's go through the sides this afternoon. For the Illawarra South Coast Dragons, at the back it's Jai Patterson, on the wings Alex Lobb and Cooper Tunbridge, in the centres Jay Weaver and the captain Nelson Sharp. The halves are Tyrone Roberts and Billy Hayburn. The front row, Fletcher Blackett, Jack Owens and Ben Byron. Phoenix Venabu, Affinity, Charlie Parrish and Kai Sims. The co-captain is Charlie Parrish. On the bench it's Braith Lawrence Foy, Giovanni Nassau, Tirana Tamari, Eamon Munro, William Webb, Jack Walsh, Kane Ball, and the coaches Glenn Buffalin. For the Western Rams, the fullback Tyler Colley. On the wings, Noah Ryan and Dylan Marmion, I should say. Mackenzie Atkins and Ben Lovett in the centres. Ryan Manning and Riley Blackhall are the halves. In the front row, Liam Henry, Campbell Woolnough, Nick Bennett. In the back row, it's Jack Hardwick, Nick Barlow. The lock forward and captain is Nathan Water. The bench, it's Elijah Collis, Thomas Stimson, Colby Peckham, Lachlan Large, Patrick Halsey, and the coaches Kurt Hancock as the home side. Enters the arena, looking to go top of the southern pool this afternoon. The wind picking up here at Victory in Wollongong at this outstanding facility, the Collegian Sporting Complex. A good crowd in too. You may not see it on the coverage, but I can tell you that this Western Grandstand has plenty of supporters for both sides as the Western Rams come out onto the park. Flawless in their first 2 games. As the players shake hands in the middle. You thought the precursor this morning was good. You haven't seen anything yet. Sitting on about 24 degrees, going for a top of 26 this afternoon. It'll be no doubt warm for the players. 35-minute halves. Those 70-minute games as opposed to the 60-minute game we saw in the Andrew Johns Cup. As I mentioned, the Western Rams getting the chocolates in that one. The officials today, the referee is Jack Bird, the touch judges Bailey Warren and Ryan Sweeney. The Dragons to kick off to the northern end of Collegian Sporting Complex. Tyrone Roberts gets us underway. Strap yourselves in for the next 70 minutes. It's a top of the table battle in the Laurie Daley Cup. About to unfold in front of you. Eamon Munro with plenty of physicality in that tackle as Henry plays it. The Rams dispatched Riverina 44-10 last round, looking for an equally impressive performance this afternoon. Lovett with the football. The Park Spaceman Jr. will play it. They're up over the halfway mark. It's a good first set there for the Western Rams. They'll be very happy with that as Henry goes for another trundle up into the Dragons' defensive line. Now back to the boot of Manning. Manning with that breeze just holds it up, and now it's for Tunbridge to come back. He's been super impressive in his opening couple of games for the Dragons. Wore the 22 jersey, I noticed, in the opening round game I called, and he's been promoted to the 5 jersey. Can sniff out a try. In fact, he scored a try after the siren last week to snatch a 10-all draw with Penrith. A big result on the road for the Dragons. Now Munro again. Offload away. It goes out the back to Hayburn. Hayburn, he was super impressive in the round 1 win over Monero. He and Tyrone Roberts pulling the strings. They'll be the danger men for the red and whites again today. Speaking of Roberts there, a short ball. Oh, what a ball it is too. And they're lining up. It's a try to the home side. The architect was Roberts. The finisher was Jack Walsh. Opening points. And a confident start. The conversion should be a simple one for Tyrone Roberts. The Rams look shell-shocked. And we should credit Vanaboo Affinity, Phoenix Vanaboo Affinity. He was the one that made the bust off that beautiful Tyrone Roberts ball. Spent some time in the centres in the first round, but certainly very effective on the edge in the back row. Roberts' strike is good. It's 6-0 to the home side. Try to Jack Walsh. The lead-up work, Tyrone Roberts the 6. And in the 11, Phoenix Vanaboo Affinity with the line break. Kick-off, it's a floater, it's an awkward one. Hayburn does well. We talk about the impact Tyrone Roberts has already had on this game. Well, what about that round one, the game where he scored 28 points, 3 tries, 8 goals? He'd be hoping to pull out a similar effort this afternoon. Another penalty. Saw plenty of penalties in the Andrew Johns Cup this morning. Solid contact as Munro up in the face of the Rams defence. Roberts, he's got Vanaboo Affinity short, and this time it's a little trick play, and trying to see who that was. It was the try scorer in Walsh, who almost went through again. The home side looking dangerous as they go through Hayburn. So Owens at hooker, going short there to Byron. They're 19 metres out. Centre of the park, 5th and last for the Dragons. It goes to Hayburn, he takes it to the line. This kick, it's deflected, and that was nice work, in-your-face stuff from the Rams. And Hayburn, as a consequence, wasn't able to effect a very good kick. Oh. What about some of the contact already in this game? So a little snipe there from Woolno. Woolno making sensational metres. The Rams on the front foot and the penalty. The momentum quickly shifting. We've had 7 minutes of play. It's 6-0 to the Dragons. But the Rams would fancy their chances here. Now Henry. 12 metres out. A real chance here for the visitors. Short side they go. Little trick play there for Coley. Coley looking for another try. He sniffed out plenty of those already in the opening rounds. Now the step and the go from Manning. Manning's tackle 5 metres out. Now they go back to Coley. Coley, the cutout, it's intercepted. Away is Alex Lobb, striding down the western touchline. Does he have the pace? The cover coming across, but Alex Lobb, he gets there. Coast to coast, the Dragons go back to back. Tyler Coley took the odds at the cutout ball. It was read perfectly by Alex Lobb. And the junior who plays just next door at Sid Parish Park scores a try to make it a 10-0 lead. We've only had 9 minutes. Not even a chasing Riley Blackhall could haul in the lanky Alex Lobb. Those long strides just getting him a try in the northwestern corner. Tough assignment for Tyron Roberts. .22 metres back, right on the western touchline. Be very relieved, the home side. They were under siege and it looked like the Rams perhaps were about to crack open the red and white wall. Could have been a try at either end. It was a 50-50. Coley through the pass, Lobb gleefully accepting the intercept, and now Roberts with a chance to add the extras. The strike, it's straight, but the wind is just going to take it out towards the to the right of the posts. No goal, 10-0 the score remains. Saw Rams in the earlier game get out to a hot start and they couldn't be reeled in. How important is this 10-point lead? 24.5 minutes left in the first half. Again, back down to Hayburn. Hayburn to Roberts. Out the back, a little play to Walsh, but it was an obstruction. The block runner impeding the defence. They were away to the Dragons. So Hartwig, the Forbes Magpies junior, takes it to within 15 of the line. The ball out to Manning. They were alert to the danger out the back. Well read by the red and whites, but crowding into play the ball. Penalty given. Woolno was trying to go quickly. Jack Bird, the referee, having none of it. So Barlow, 5 metres out. The Rams stampeding towards the line as they go out to Coley. Coley gets away from Roberts initially, who comes again and helps out with the tackle. So now to the big book-ended Bennett. The front rower. Plenty of him. Now out there Manning, going short to Lovett. Lovett met by the defence, but he's only a metre out. This is danger time for the home side. Wrestling, trying to back his way over was Barlow. Last tackle, they're going short side. They're going short side, but the defence read it. Woolnose wrapped up, and the Dragons will survive. And they'll maintain this 10-point lead. Early days here at Victory. Nice conditions for football. Quite warm and quite windy. But a dry track, and we're already being treated to some good attacking rugby league. Both these sides with plenty to play for. Tunbridge to play it. Roberts shifting to his outside, finding out there Munro. Munro attracts a penalty. So a shift towards the middle, and Hayburn wrapped up by Lovett. Well, they lose ground on that occasion. Now Parrish, 9 short of halfway. Now Sims going to Hayburn. Hayburn shaped a pass. He does eventually. Roberts. Then they find some space out there, and now it's Weaver. Weaver trying to do exactly that through the defence of the Rams, but they were up to the task on that occasion. Roberts at first receiver, going to Sims midfield. The Dragons just building, leading 10-0. Hayburn, wide to Parrish. Parrish standing in the tackle, an unnecessary offload. They weren't expecting it. And the flop coming in to add insult to injury on that occasion. The Rams will advance the football. Fair to say that neither side's discipline is too crash hot to start this one. Now they shift it there to Bennett. Bennett takes some stopping. Owulno shapes a pass, eventually does. They go out the back, and a nice little offload to Colley from Lovett. They're 20 metres short of the line, but they're pressing. That man again. Lovett with plenty of football in these opening minutes. Now Woolno, short ball to Henry, and Henry scores. The big fella charging onto it, striding out, planting the football down. The Rams hit back. The boy from Blaney with a full head of steam up. Found the defence wanting. Now the Rams fullback, Tyler Colley, with a chance to add the extras. Tough assignment in this breeze, which, as fate would have it, has picked up as he places the ball on the mound. 15 metres in from the western touchline, 20 metres out. Preferred side for the left footer. The strike's good. The direction's good. It's over. It's 10-6. The Dragons leading the Rams. 17 minutes 55 seconds left in this first half at Victory. The visitors working themselves back into the game nicely. They've had all the territory over the past 10 minutes. And that floating towards the touchline. It's got too much on it. It'll be a penalty back at halfway to the Western Rams. Momentum shifting. The breeze taking hold of that one. Ideal real estate to start the set for the Rams. Oh, they've coughed it up first tackle. A cardinal sin. As the Dragons look to counter.
Go 0. 4 right shoulder. Number 9, release the ball. Right side. Hold. Go 1.
Al Sims.
Play on.
The ball spills out the back. It's play on for Hayburn, and the defence aggressively going in there. Henry and Barlow to wrap him up. In the Rams half. In the 22 jersey there, Duke Grant on the park now for the Dragons. Roberts sweeping to the left, and now it's with Parrish, and Parrish charging, pumping the legs, carrying 4 defenders with him. They're to within 25 metres of the Rams line now. Set deep out to the right. Instead they go to the left. Hayburn's there. He's found a little bit of space there for Nelson Sharp, who ducks under a high tackle.
Rev, you've just got him on it. Boys, what are we doing? Take a touch. Here we are, guys. Revs with me. Make sure you're behind me first. Let's go.
So they start their set with Grant.
Hey, hands off! Hold!
Centre of the park, 18 metres out. Hayburn sweeping to the right. He goes to Roberts. Roberts there, and he goes out the back, but they all overrun it. Tunbridge has to go back. Tunbridge, broken field play. This is where he's dangerous. We've seen him score tries like this. Last week he got the the try on the side to ultimately snatch a draw. Munro now, 5 metres out. Hayburn shifting to Parrish. Parrish backing his way towards the northern try line. The dummy from Owens. Centimetres short. Last tackle now for the Dragons. It goes back to Roberts. Roberts grubbering. It's got too much weight on it though, and they'll go back out to the 20. Underwhelming end to a set which asked plenty of questions of the Rams. But the defence holds firm. How about the contact? Owens measuring up, love it. A real statement as the Dragons again go charging in to this tackle. Plenty of physicality as the 16 Colby Peckham takes it forward for the Western Rams. Now probing down the short side. The 17, that's Lachlan Large. Now back to Peckham. Again too slow. You heard it there from referee Jack Bird. who is certainly blowing the pea out of the whistle early on. Wants a fast, free-flowing game. That certainly seems to be the message he's sending out to the players. Now we'll know. The dangerous number 9 for the Rams. So now they shift it there. Blackall gets it on his outside there to Coley, and Coley gets it onto the centre there, and Atkins is wrapped up, but again offside.
We've been calling you all game. No.
Tyron Roberts been really testing the patience of the referee with that offside. You heard it. I've been calling you all game.
Number 6, make sure you get back on side with me, please. Let's go. 9 left shoulder.
Now Hardwick, hit and spin.
3 off the ball. Hold. Go 1.
Woolno finds his half, and Blackall, and now the cutout there again. It doesn't quite go to hand. It's adjudicated a knock on. Maybe an argument for a knockback, but he was moving forward at a great rate of knots, which maybe gave it the impression it went backwards. Forward off the hands is the call. The Dragons, geez, they dodge a bullet on that occasion. 11.5 minutes left in the first half. 10-6 to the home side.
Number 11, blood bin.
A bit of claret coming from the nose there. Looks like it's Peckham, the replacement forward, needing some attention. Some running repairs from the trainer. He will come from the field. The replacement in 15, Thomas Stimson.
Heads in! No, wait! Dragons block, head all the way in! Yeah, ball! Out!
So perhaps a set play as Roberts gets it, and he spreads it to Tunbridge. Tunbridge gets out of one tackle.
Move now, 4!
Looking dangerous every time they spread the football. That is certainly their forte, the Dragons.
16, release! Hold!
Lost football. It's been far from convincing this last 15 minutes from the Dragons, camped down their own end. Even the try they scored was a 99-metre intercept. The Rams dominating the flow of play, but not dominating the scoreboard. So they shift to Atkins. Atkins, the try-scoring machine for the Rams. 15 metres out.
Hold, go 1.
Again, Woolno shaping, and Manning going across field, looking to pick someone up, straightening the play, but they were all crabbing across field. He had no one to give it to, so he'll play it. He's 15 metres out now, the skipper. Ward going through, hit and spinning. Oh, Nathan Ward, a captain's knock on that occasion. We are all even, but you'd suspect that the Rams will hit the front very shortly with the conversion to come. Nathan Ward, determined run, and a nice little spin, a 360, planting the football down, and a telling blow with 9 3/4 minutes left in this first half. Finally, the Rams' dominance over the past 15 minutes reflecting on the scoreboard. Tyler Colley I suspect you could throw over the blindfold over his eyes and he'd still slot this one with consummate ease, for fear of putting the mocker on him. Strike's good. The Rams lead for the first time this morning. Nearing midday Wollongong time. Hope you're enjoying the coverage on Bar TV. Big thanks to our major sponsor for the Laurie Daley Cup, SLE Worldwide. Thanks for their support, and also to the competition's partner in Anytime Fitness. Another high floating kickoff, this one towards that northwestern corner. 12-10. This top of the table clash certainly living up to the hype thus far. Stimson will play the football 15 metres out from his own line as the Dragons look to atone for a pretty poor defensive effort, which saw Rams skipper Nathan Ward cross, but another penalty. Would love to see the penalty tally in this first half. As I mentioned in the Andrew Johns Cup game, there's a referee swap between the CRL referees and the New South Wales referee. So Jack Bird, you'll normally see him refereeing SG ball games, and the CRL referee's got a chance to take time out from refereeing the Andrew Johns Cup and Laurie Daley Cup to have a taste of Harold Matt's and SG ball yesterday. So the Rams on attack, but not for long because they've lost the football. 6.5 minutes left in the half. 12-10 to the Rams. The boys from out west already have one win this morning, a 30 points to 8 win in the Andrew Johns Cup, to go top of the southern pool in that competition for the under-16s.
Head all the way in. Get ball. Up. Hey, move.
Nelson Sharp with the football. He'll go to his feet and he'll play it. Sims with a quick play of the ball, certainly looking for it. He got hampered, and yes, a penalty. Certainly, I think referee Jack Bird was very warranted there. He was up to his feet, was getting some extra attention from the marker. 5.5 minutes left. The Dragons looking to snatch back the lead. Now Hayburn out there into the 20.
9, not 12 off the ball. I'll go 116, not square.
Now Roberts. The ball coughed up.
Move now.
Disappointing end.
I'll go 0.
So the Rams come back up with it.
Hold. Go 1.
Ducking under a high one on that occasion.
14 up you get. Hold. Go 2. Left shoulder.
Lachlan Large.
14.
Short side they go. Oh, big contact coming in. Jay Weaver.
Go 4.
Big spiral bomb. Tested there and did very well.
12, release the ball.
And again, too slow. Too slow. Another penalty. The game littered with them. It's perhaps indicative of the speed of the SG ball compared to the Laurie Daley Cup. These players looking to slow the pace of the game down. Harold Matt's definitely more up tempo.
17, up you get. Hold, go 2.
So Rangia harder on the field, I noticed, in the 20 jersey, as now they go out to the right, the Dragons. The offload going away there to Venaboo Affinity, and Venaboo Affinity will play the ball 35 metres out.
Oh! Go 3.
His line break setting up the first try of the game. Will no doubt look to
17, up you get.
assert his dominance yet again. Munro 25 metres out, they're centre of the park. They go now to Hayburn. Hayburn, he's got options on his outside. He goes out that way. Quick hands! An intercept this time to the Rams. Oh, you can put down the glasses, can you? No, Roberts. He's chasing, but to no avail. The Rams return with an intercept of their own. Ryan Manning, it looked like. Ryan Manning had his opposite number breathing down his neck. A step at the end was probably crucial. Roberts went the dive. Couldn't come up with his man. And with 2 minutes left in the half, it's 16-10 to the Rams. We saw Alex Lobb run away with an intercept try for the Dragons. Now you can put down one to Ryan Manning, the Orange Hawks Jr. Tyler Colley, 10 metres in from the western touchline, 20 metres out. Important kick this is to make it an 8-point ball game. He'll chew up every second he can. With 1 minute 10 left until the halftime bell. Flawless thus far. Knocked one over from a similar position. This one a touch tougher. This one hooked away to the right. Score remaining 16-10. On the balance of the game, you'd have to say a fair scoreline. Rams slightly the better side. So the short kick-off from Roberts, it's knocked on by the Rams, but we won't have time for the scrum feed, you'd think. That should take us out for the first half. So the Western Rams will go into the sheds with a 6-point lead. 16-10 in this round 3, top of the table Southern Pool Laurie Daley Cup clash. We will be back very shortly with the second half. Dragons back out on the field for this second half of the Laurie Daley Cup Round 3 Southern Pool fixture between the Illawarra South Coast Dragons and Western Rams here in Wollongong. 16-10 in favour of the visitors at the moment. A topsy-turvy game. The Dragons shot out to a 10-0 lead thanks to tries to Jack Walsh and Alex Lobb. But the Rams hit back with 3 unanswered tries to Liam Henry, the skipper Nathan Ward, and the 5/8 with an intercept right on the stroke of half-time in Ryan Manning. So that's the state of play after the first 35 as the Western Rams come back out on to Collegiate Sporting Complex. Bit of a breeze about today. We've exceeded the expected top of 26. We're sitting at 27.5 at the moment. A warm day. No doubt the players will start to feel it towards the back end of this game. The winner will go top of the tree in the Southern Pool. As for the Dragons, if they lose this one, they will go to third. That's in fact where they sit at the moment after the Penrith Panthers 64 drubbing of the West Tigers yesterday. Back underway, the second half. The Dragons with first use.
Whoa, stand up!
I'll be hoping for a similar start to the second as the first. Venabu Affinity.
Move now,
He had the line break which led to the first try, and again a penalty. That was certainly the theme of the first half. Jack Bird not afraid to put the whistle to his mouth. No doubt that would have been the theme for both coaches in the sheds. Cut the penalties out.
Yep. 15, release the ball, right side, number 9, 1 step.
One row to play.
Oh, go 1.
Short ball to Grant.
16, off the ball. Hold. Go 2.
Rangia harder at acting half. Hayburn out to Roberts. Roberts jinks. He steps and he gives it to Venabua. Venabua trying to get out of the two-man tackle, but they wrap him up.
Release
They're
now.
up to meet him at close quarters. He loses the football, but again, another penalty. Some assistance on that occasion. Riley Blackall, the number 7 for the Rams, was in there, the guilty party.
Ball boy.
And they'll start again.
Yeah, just play, guys. Let's get rid of the second one.
The Dragons trailing by 6.
Go 3.
Vanderbilt Affinity.
Up again, 12. Hold. Go 1.
Rangia hard. Roberts dummies. Steps. Looking to unload.
18.
Hangs on to the football.
Hold.
The dangerous 6. Now Owens. Munro.
15, clear him.
By no means a fluent attacking foray on that occasion. Rangia harder. 14. Now Lawrence Foy on the field.
Let him go. Hold. Go 4.
Roberts again intercepted. This time by Blackall, who unloads. The Rams survive.
Up together now.
Not the intended target on that occasion for Tyron Roberts.
Yeah, right side, mate. Right side. Yeah, okay. Up you get.
Western Rams leading 16-10.
4, I need an extra step.
At just 3 minutes in this second half. No scorers yet. Halsey, what about the run? From Patrick Halsey, and he's lifted above the horizontal at the end of it. Time off. Jack Bird's had enough.
14 and Nelson, please.
He wants to have a chat. He wants to have a chat to the skipper Nelson Sharp and also to Braith Lawrence Foy for the dangerous tackle. So the penalty count is mounting. So Blackall to Peckin.
Oh, don't play it on him.
Rams shape to the left. That's where they go. They turn it back on the inside, looking to catch the inside defence. A little lazy, but they're up to the occasion on up to the task on that occasion, I should say. So they're 5 metres out, the Rams. At the Blackall, out of the centre in Mackenzie Atkins. Atkins, who's been quiet this afternoon, loses the football. Thought it was in the tackle. But he's going to call a Dragons lost football. A knock on. Time off. Player down for the Rams. A back or rib complaint, perhaps. Colby Peckham, the Damo Sims product, who's right to pack in the scrum. So a chance to extend on this 6-point buffer.
Ball in. Up.
Will know. Short ball. Almost through. Manning. Woolno scores. The Rams do extend their lead. No markers, no worries for Campbell Woolno. And the Forbes Magpie Jr. says thank you very much. 20 points to 10. As the Rams look to complete the clean sweep here in Wollongong after winning the Andrew Johns Cup earlier in the day. Tyler Golly to make it a 2 converted try scenario for the Dragons. No mistake. What a turnaround. After a 10-0 lead to the Dragons, 22 unanswered points from the Rams. High in the breeze. Blackall, and it was forward. They've gifted the Dragons a chance to get back in it. How often do we see errors off the kickoff? Far too often. Heads in! Ball! Out! The ball out to Hayburn. Hayburn turning it on the inside to his skipper and Parrish. And the co-captain will play it 9 metres out. Rangihiata.
15 off the ball. Hold.
Rangihiata again, this time to Hayburn, who switches the point of attack for Roberts. Roberts looking to go through. He got out of one tackle but tripped and fell a metre short, and they've lost the ball. Rangihiata was a little too eager to pick that one up. Time off. He wants to have a chat to the skipper again. Maybe some back chat by Tyron Roberts. Let's listen in.
Okay, Nelson. Oh, back on. Okay. Number 6 behind your second row, please.
Head dead. Ball. Out.
The Rams almost escape the clutches of the Dragons defenders. Lawrence Foy making an important tackle. Now Lachlan Large. 15 shy of halfway as the Rams want to get out of trouble. Some solid contact again by Lawrence Foy. Short side they go to Barlow. Barlow up over halfway. A good run by the left back rower. Last tackle now, and they try to find a space between Tunbridge and also the fullback there, but it's out on the full. We'll go back. It's within 9 of halfway where they'll start their set. I notice Jack Walsh playing fullback for the Dragons this afternoon in the 19 jersey. Already one try to his name. So Parrish plays it. Now Hayburn looking to his captain and Nelson Sharp, and Sharp can't get away from the clutches of the defenders. Hayburn hasn't run roughshod like he did in round 1. They've been on him and Tyron Roberts today. Little room for the halves pairing to do much as Roberts goes out the back there, and again it's that 19 and Jack Walsh. Jack Walsh getting away from one tackle, but they come again. Riley Blackall leading the charge on that occasion in defence. Jack Owens now in the 9 jersey. He'll play it on the 20. It's the last tackle. Roberts goes to the air, hoping his winger can get there. It's too deep. And a nice, safe, comfortable catch for Noah Ryan. Back out to the 20. Didn't quite have the trajectory on it that perhaps he was looking for. Now Peckham. Going to get it out of their own halves through Atkins. We haven't seen a great deal of today, but watch out when you do. Manning turns it on the inside for one of his forwards to carry it over halfway. Still a couple of tackles up the sleeve for the Rams with his 12-point lead. Lachlan Large. You'd have to think the Dragons need to be next to score. There's still plenty of time left, but 12 points, if you make that 16, well, it becomes a race against the clock. And a nice kick, again, trying to find that gap between winger and fullback. This time he gets the weighting right. Ball into touch as time ticks away. The scrum loose and feed to the Dragons. Bit of a breather for the players. 27 degrees out there as we head into autumn, although you wouldn't know it with the weather. Tunbridge, they try to get him over the touchline, the Rams defenders, but he's quite slow to play that one. Now Roberts into Venabu Affinity. Can he spark something? Rangiata. Now Venabu Affinity trying to get in behind the ruck, and a nice carry too. He makes 15 metres. Up to halfway, the Dragons. 2 tackles up their sleeve. Another good carry. Gets them into the Rams half. Roberts on the last. He puts it again to the air. This one's got better weight on it. The chase is pretty good, but Noah Ryan's up to the task again. All inside the 10 yet again, the Dragons. The Rams say thank you very much. Another piggyback. .21 3/4 minutes left in this Laurie Daley Cup round 3 match. The winner goes top of the Southern Pool. Nicholas Barlow able to bounce out of a shot there from Jay Weaver. Now the lock forward and captain Nathan Ward, who has a try to his name already this afternoon, and now it goes through the hands out to Manning. A short pass, it was a good one too, out there to Lachlan Large, and Lachlan Large is brought down on the 30. The Rams starting to really get ahead of steam up now, and Henry will play at 21 metres out. Back on the inside to Barlow. Barlow 15 away. 5th and last, and a penalty on the last. Well, they could take the 2 and go out by 14, but they maybe smell blood in the water. They want to finish off the Dragons. They're 10 metres short. Woolno out there to Blackall, and Blackall throws the dummy. They don't fall for the dummy. He's brought down. Woolno, he's been dangerous. He again dummies, but thought better of passing the football. He takes the tackle. And now the captain again! No markers, no worries for Nathan Ward. He gets a brace. And maybe gets his side a win. 19 minutes 50 left. 26-10. How dangerous is the captain from close quarters? Put that down to a 5th tackle penalty. It's ended up costing them dearly. You'd have to say the home side's chances of winning is slowly slipping away. You wouldn't quite put a line through them just yet. However, if Tyler Colley can put this over, the Rams probably can't lose. You'd have to think maybe a draw's best result, depending on this kick. And Colley, look at that, it's curling round nicely. 18 points the margin with 18 left. Western Rams flying in both the Laurie Daley Cup and the Andrew Johns Cup. Already top of Andrew Johns Cup. If they win this one, they go top of the Laurie Daley Cup. They're in the box seat. Ball goes to his very narrow short side. Picks up Lovett out there. Large. Out to Blackall. Blackall looks to his outside. They've got numbers. A dummy there from Mackenzie Atkins. He had support on his outside. Chose not to use it. Thought better of it. Oh, look at that hit. Jay Weaver. Now short side. They've worked a bit of a 2-on-1. The unload out there. Now it's Collie, Tyler Collie. Collie weaving his way through, getting an offload away. There's a chance here. Ward brought down 10 metres out. Now the kick played at. It's bouncing round. It'll be play on for the Dragons. They somehow get out of that unscathed. Looked very dicey at one point there. Lawrence Foy now with the football. Some rare possession for the Dragons, who have been under the hammer for a large part of this second half. Sharp to play it. The step from Walsh. No way through. They're 10 shy of halfway. It goes to Roberts looking for a 40-20. He drills it low. It's not going to go towards the touchline, but nonetheless, it's a good kick. Gets a great bounce. Noah Ryan, who looks to have gone to the fullback position, and a little swap there with Collie, who's having a little spell on the wing. Collie at acting half. I love it to play it. Now Stimson. The captain Ward to play it into the Dragons half. They go the short side, and it's now Barlow. Barlow trying to test the left edge. Now the ball goes back to Blackall, who gets it nice and high. A tester for Walsh. She doesn't look comfortable, and coming through, well, it was Mackenzie Atkins, who looked like he was going to pick it up right away and score, but he lost the football in the process. There'll be no advantage. Scrum feed to the Rams. The game getting away from the red and whites. Ryan at first receiver, skipping, looking for a way through, but they come up, they meet him, they drive him back. 19 metres out, the Dragons need to withstand this little attacking raid or it's curtains. Liam Henry with the football, he's 8 metres out, well, he'll play it. We'll know. Short pass and a nice tackle there on Bennett. It needed to be, but a quick play the ball. They've got numbers out here if they wanted Manning. Manning goes short, and trying to get the unload there was the centre three-quarter, and love it, but he's brought down 5 metres out. The Rams looking ominous here. They go the short side. Manning skips. Manning looking to get the ball down. Manning's very close, but he's lost the football. The Dragons dodge a bullet. They keep their chances alive. 90 metres to go, it's a long way. They need no errors in this set. Get to the kick. Make the Rams work. Roberts goes wider to Walsh. Rangihiata. And Parrish. Tirana Tamari on the field. He'll play the football on halfway. Roberts now. Roberts goes short and it was solid contact coming in on Weaver, who managed to bounce out and get to his front where he'll play it. It's the fifth and last. Short side to Roberts. Roberts decides to go the grubber this time, and it's confusion there. It's picked up by Venabu Affinity. Roberts steps. Roberts cruising towards the try line, and he gets his side back in it with 12 and a half minutes left in the contest. The architect and the finisher, Tyron Roberts. Makes his own job of converting the try that much easier. Some nice footwork. Some confusion at the back there. Collie and Ryan got themselves in an almighty tangle. Venabu Affinity was there, and so was Tyron Roberts. Fourth try of the competition for Tyrone Roberts. Can certainly sniff out 4 points. And you'd imagine he'll have no dramas putting this one over, and he doesn't. Still time for the Dragons if they're good enough. 28-16. Wind howling now here at Collegians in Wollongong. This is expected to hold up, you'd think. Now Parrish, the co-captain, looking to inspire his side. They trail by 12 with 10 to go. Hayburn shows and goes, gives it to Parrish. Parrish up over halfway. Already some good metres in this set for the Dragons as they try and reel in this big Rams lead. Roberts wants it on the right. Hayburn to the left. They go to Roberts. Roberts throws the cutout. It's a beauty. Venabu Affinity gets an unload away there to Weaver. And Weaver's brought down 35 metres out. This is the last. Can they get a repeat set or even a try? The ball goes high from Roberts. Roberts, it's swirling in the breeze, and it's a try! The Rams couldn't deal with it. It was off legs. And Alex Lobb gets a double.
Another try, Illinois South Coast. That's the second for Alex Lobb, and takes the score to 28-20 with 3 to go.
Game on with 8.5 left. 28-20, but what a kick coming up for Tyrone Roberts. It's a 2-score game at the moment. And he's single-handedly turned this game on its head. First with a try, then a try assist. What a kick. Dylan Marmion was in all sorts on the right wing for the Western Rams. Tough assignment. Tyrone Roberts 5 metres in from the southwestern touchline. 21, I should say the southeastern touchline, 21 metres out. No more important kick than this one. The strike's good, but he has sprayed it out to the right. 28-20, Rams leading. The Dragons will need to score twice to win. They've already scored 2 in 5 minutes. Certainly not out of the question. Parrish again, the battering ram from Berry Shoalhaven. Hayburn throwing the dummy. They've watched him like a hawk today. On a late hit after the ball, surely a penalty coming up. It is. Time off, let's listen in. So it's gone on report. So 5 minutes 55 left. There's Roberts. Roberts, what a touch finder. Now Sims. The Dragons looking to close within a converted try. Down to the last 5. Roberts. Roberts, short ball. It's forward. And perhaps, maybe that's the game. Jay Weaver almost through, but a forward pass denying him. So Lovett plays it. They need to force an error. And quick, smart, the Dragons. The Rams just need to get their kick. William Henry, it's to his feet as they probe the left. Hardwig to play it. The dummy from Woolno, who's been sensational this afternoon for the Rams. 5th and last. Blackall goes to the air, testing Walsh. And Walsh has an air swing. And a try to Noah Ryan will seal the game for the Rams. Jack Walsh hasn't looked comfortable under the high ball all afternoon. The tactic finally paying dividends. Noah Ryan, the Western Rams speedster, with a try to his name, which gives the Rams the 2 competition points. They will go back to the top of the tree in the southern pool. As for the Dragons, they've got plenty of soul searching to do ahead of next weekend's clash with the West Tigers. Tyler Colley in no hurry to take this one. He'll chew off some more time knowing that the game is in the bag. 32-20, a sound performance by the Rams, who will be very, very tough to beat come the business end of this competition. Allen, who's 4 from 5 today. 20 metres in from the western touchline. He shanks this one out to the left. As the Dragons race up to halfway, they haven't given up the ghost. But time will ultimately beat them. So they go short, but a nice take. Love it, going up for the screamer, as if he was playing at the MCG with the Sharon. Impressive performances all over the park for the men in green. Perhaps none better than their hooker, who will feed the ball now to the skipper, who's another who you could easily say was man of the match. 2 tries. Nathan Ward. Take a bow. Talk about captain's knocks. Because it will be 2 tries. That's ultimately the difference, you would think, as Manning had a little bit of a peek up at the defensive line and comes up with the error. So 1 minute left. The Dragons racing to play the ball. It was the last. It'll be a changeover. No scrum needed. Time off called. Looks like it'll be another blood bin for the Rams. Great mornings rugby league we've seen. And this competition in its infancy just keeps delivering talent. Dragons hoping for a consolation. Just haven't been able to put a full 70 minutes together as they try a little run around there, and it doesn't come off, so the Rams will have the last say. Lovett will play the football. Now on the 15, Stimson. He loses the football. Had a little bit of help though, so a penalty with 25 seconds left. They'll go for touch, perhaps one more play. Don't think they'll be too interested in playing too much more. Ten seconds to go. Short side will know. Going for the touchline. The ball's wrapped up. And that's all there is. The Western Rams, top of the Southern Pool in the Laurie Daley Cup. They've defeated a plucky Dragons outfit, 32 points to 20. What a day we've had. 2 wins to the Western Rams, 30 points to 8 in the Andrew Johns Cup, the under-16s competition, and then they backed it up in the under-18s Laurie Daley Cup with a 32 points to 20 win. A big thank you to our sponsor, our major sponsor, SLE Worldwide, to our partner in Anytime Fitness, and to Bar TV for their ongoing coverage of the CRL representative competitions. We look forward to your company again next week. Until then, it's bye for now.